Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, almost Friday. Today's February 24th. Hope everybody's enjoying the week, getting ready for the weekend. I know it's gotten colder. Spent my morning this morning doing my new favorite hobby, which is reading planning reports, apparently. Going over the City of Sarnia's growth report and draft official plan again. And some interesting things that came about. I know a lot of you have seen a couple of my other videos and the other information we've been putting out about the City of Sarnia's draft official plan process and the planning reports and different things, the growth report and different things that have been happening in terms of planning for the next 25 years of Sarnia's future. One of the interesting things I found this morning in the growth report was that consultants identified a shortfall in the amount of residential land that's going to be needed in the next 25 years. So what they said was, well, let's look at areas where we should possibly, convert or expand the urban boundary or add more residential land in the future. One of those areas was Brights Grove, and one of those areas was what would be the Western Research Park on Modeland. The north side of Wellington Street, basically Modeland East and Wellington North. So they went through their studies and their planning reports, and they said, well, the best place to do this, the most feasible economic place would be the research park, and take all that land right there. Now there's about 40 hectares of land that's zoned for industrial use, and rezone it to residential use in order to fulfill the need that we're going to have in the next 25 years in the city. When that report went to council, city council basically has said that they're not interested in doing that. They think that land should be maintained for basically industrial or office business kind of employment use, which I don't necessarily disagree with. I think that's a great asset the city has there in the Western Research Park and the facilities that are there, and the sort of reputation and business that's been built up there in the last couple decades. So I think that's a good idea. The problem you run into is now we're going to have, according to the consultants, about a 43 hectare shortfall in the amount of residential land needed. So where do we go from here? Well, as part of what they identified for Brights Grove would have about 50 hectares of available residential development land. So this is this is where we come into the discussion that we've had the last few weeks with a lot of people on social media, and I've been talking to a lot of different people on Zoom and on the phone, different things about it. But if we're 43 hectares short of residential land and there's 50 hectares available in Brights Grove, that could be a very sensible and logical option for the future development of the city at some point, right? What the city and the consultants have basically done is taken, rather than add that 50 hectares in Brights Grove, they've taken the existing land that exists now and made it denser. So what they're recommending is basically a density of 50 people per hectare in new development areas along Wellington Street. Now, to give you an idea, 50 people per hectare is about 22 people per acre. When we do a new development, typically like Heritage Park or Rapids Parkway, the historical kind of new residential developments that have happened in the city of Sarnia, we use a rule of thumb about 4 to 4.5 units per acre. So 4 to 4.5 homes would fit on an acre of land. So using the consultants' own numbers, they say that on the average, there's about 2.1 people per household nowadays. That's kind of the average numbers. So if we can fit 4 to 5 people or 4 to 5 homes per acre, and there's 2 people in each of those homes, that's 8 to 10 people per acre right now. And what they're proposing is basically north of 20. So it'd be more than double the current density that we're seeing of residential growth. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's something I think that people should be aware of and that we should be discussing, is that the new subdivisions going forward are going to be extremely dense. It's going to be basically all townhomes, apartment buildings, potentially condo buildings, different things like that. And it's obviously more density than what we're used to. So I guess the question to the people of Sarnia is, are you comfortable with that? Do you want to see density in that magnitude? And would you live in a neighborhood if you picture Rapids Parkway or Wiltshire, a huge neighborhood like that being all sort of, dense townhomes, condos, apartment buildings, mid-rise, low-rise kind of mixtures? Would that be a desirable place for you to live? And is east of Modeland, between Wellington and Confed in that development area too, is that the sort of the appropriate place to put that level of density in the city of Sarnia? So that's my 2 cents from today's review, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more input and feedback, which I appreciate, like hearing from everybody. And yeah, I'm sure as I dig through and find more nuggets, we'll sort of put little ideas out there. All the information is available on the city website, so if you're bored, feel free to check it out and take a read. Otherwise, I will try and keep you updated as I kind of chew through it over and over again. Otherwise, hope everybody has a good day.